Hey y'all. Hey y'all, hey. I was awarded among a couple of other people who made $100,000 in one day. One day, y'all. Not in a month, not in a year like I used to, but in one day. And you could not have told me 8 years ago when I left corporate America that I could make in a day what I'd been making in a year. My mind is just blown because you don't know what's possible for you until you get around people. And it's going to cost you some money. I can tell you that right now. It's going to cost you some money, but you have to be willing to get in the room because you don't know what's possible and you don't know how far you can even stretch yourself until you get in a room full of people who have already normalized where you're trying to go. What I want to tell you is there's so many things that I could share right now about making $100,000 in a day. One is that it's not as hard as you think. You have to believe that you are worthy of that. You have to believe that you're worthy enough of people finding value in whatever it is you do in this world, in your space. Believe that there is enough people that find value in what you have to say and what you have to share that they are willing to pay a premium for that. Not only did I generate $100,000 in one day, there's no inventory, there's no tangible product. They signed up for a coaching program. The coaching program content is what I've learned and what I've done. I'm not sitting with a warehouse full of inventory somewhere and $75,000 of the $100,000 is inventory. And so I really only profited $25,000. That's not what this is. I generated $100,000 in a day based on the knowledge that I've gained over the years of experience in doing what I do, right? And I don't even like to talk about money like that. Y'all do not ever see me talk about money to that extent. But what I realize is that there has to be some measure of you being successful at the thing you're doing, okay? The measure that the world has established that you're doing good at the thing is money. So it just happens to be the measure, and so I made a lot of impact, so I made a lot of money, right? Two, you have to decide that this is what you're doing. You have to decide that you are going to take up space in a particular area. You have to decide, this is all decision. You have to decide that you are going to be the go-to expert on a specific thing in a specific arena. You're going to reach a specific target market. You have to decide that you are going to own that space. And that you're not going to waffle back and forth, or I'm doing this week, I'm selling this next week, I'm selling that week, and you don't understand why you're not doing the sales that you want to do. It's because you're not taking time to get to be known for one thing in your market. When you take time to get to be known for one thing in your market and you are intentional about becoming the go-to person for that thing, and that you are intentional about your name becoming synonymous with that thing, and you begin to own that space, then you become the go-to person for everyone that knows anyone that is interested in that thing. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Focus on the one thing that you want your name to become synonymous for in the marketplace and own that space. I want to do other things, Kelly J. I want to do other things. Can I not do more than one thing? Get known for that one thing first, and then you can do anything. But y'all, just know that when you niche down, you set yourself to it, you decide, and also here's another tip. What you think it takes to step into the place to generate $100,000 in one day is not what it takes to generate $100,000 in one day. It is not working harder. I don't even want to say it's even working smarter. It's really working at a different angle and a different perspective than what you realize you need to operate at. For example, the thing that got me to the point where I could generate 6 figures in a day, it was actually over 6 figures. But the thing that got me to realize I could do that and to step into it, it was not more tactics and more strategies. And that might sound crazy, but it was not me getting better at working harder, waking up earlier, staying up later, working through my lunchtime, putting more worksheets in my programs, giving more modules, spending more time on Zoom calls, doing all those things. The thing that got me to the point where I could generate 6 figures in one day was me becoming the person that knew that she could. If you are a person that really connected with and really got what I just said, then it would not be difficult. Real talk. It would not be difficult for you to also generate $100,000 in a day. And the best advice I can give you is invest in an environment that has normalized whatever your goals are. When I got into the coaching program that I am in, I had not made 6 figures in a day yet. I'd made it in a month, but I had not made it in a day yet. But when I got into this higher level environment and we would go to our meetings and I would see other people normalizing what I thought was a big deal, I began to think about possibility. I began to think about what I could unlock and access for myself. I began to know this once little black girl that grew up on a farm in North Carolina feeding chickens. I began to accept that I could unlock that by deciding to unlock that. I did not learn more tactics and strategies. That wasn't it. I did not download one more worksheet or allow my clients to download one more worksheet. I learned the importance and the essence of becoming. And that's one of the things that I begin to teach at a deeper level in my programs. I'd always taught it at some level because it's my gift, but I didn't know what it was called. But once I began to see what it was called and it had a name, I began to connect with it deeper. And the deeper I begin to connect with it, I begin to share it more at a deeper level with my clients. And I begin to see bigger and faster results in the life of my clients. And I begin to see my clients getting more profound results in a shorter amount of time. When you go and learn something as the leader of a community, and if your leader does not have a leader, find another leader. But when you go and learn something as the leader of a community, part of you brings that back. It's just what it is. We are all ever learning from someone, or should be, right? Even though I was a very powerful coach, when I began to be trained and molded and dipped again and covered in a different way, it began to work on me at a different level. And I began to wear my assignment, not just know of it. I began to wear it. I began to be doused in it. The light that I always had on the inside of me, that I was born with, because we all have an assignment. We're all born with a certain light that only the people that are assigned to us can see. There's a light that's on the inside of you that only people assigned to you can see. But the light that was on the inside of me, it began to shine brighter. When I was in corporate America, I never even thought about making $100,000 in a day because I wasn't around anybody who had ever done it. So I can't say, I did something, I've done something today that I never thought I'd do. I did something today that I never even thought about doing. That's the thing. If you're not in an environment where you're seeing people do a certain thing, you don't even know that it's even possible. That's to say, there are some things that you have access to and could unlock, but it has not even crossed your path because you are not in an environment where you've even seen it. And what I'm telling you, you have to do is get in an environment where things like this are normal. When you begin to see it, and then you begin to see people normalize it, it becomes possible because they have made it regular, right? So what environment can you get in that normalizes the goals that you're after? And then what environment can you get in that stretches you past your wildest dreams? You have to begin to intentionally put yourself in environments that you are the smaller fish in the pond. Let me go ahead and bust your bubble on it right now. It is going to cost you to get in those rooms. Because you know what? As quiet as it's kept, people in those rooms, because I'm in those rooms, I'm part of those rooms, I contribute to those rooms. And I paid a lot of money to get into those rooms. But quiet as it's kept, now I'm about to step on some toes. It costs a lot of money to get in that room. And I'm going to tell y'all why. I'm going to tell y'all a couple of reasons. Because we don't want to be around people who pay a low price for a coaching program and all they do is get in there and complain. The room that I'm in, the investment is $155,000 for the year. On breaks or from the front of the room or at dinner, no one is sitting around complaining about what they cannot do, who they cannot hire, what they cannot work out. That is not a thing. So if it was only $5,000 to get into the room, then you have a different environment and a whole different set of mindset things going on with someone at that level. But in a $155,000 room, the issues and the problems are different. It's like, how can I save on these taxes here I got with all this money that I'm making right now? So when you put yourself in a different room, then you are faced with kind of different things. Not, oh my gosh, I might have to hire somebody. I mean, low level problems and there's high level problems. Get yourself in a room where there's some high level problems going on. One of the things that my coach, Myron Golden, said is, you know why I charge $155,000 to get in this room? We're like, yeah, why? One of the reasons is because I want to charge people so much, he said, that it takes them off the market to get shiny object syndrome for entering into anyone else's coaching program. And I thought that was just mind-blowing. He charges so much for his coaching program that you're not going to be over here trying to sign up for all these other coaching programs. If you signed up for this place and this place and this place and this place, you purchase 17 coaching programs and you're signed up for all this stuff and you're trying to piecemeal your whole business together. You still don't have it together because you're trying to learn from too many people at one time. Well, see, if you spend $155,000 on one program, then you won't be in 17 other programs, is basically what he's saying. So he's charging you so much that he's taking you off the market for shiny object syndrome. I said, say less. My price is going up. And my price wasn't cheap to begin with. All right, cool. 100K in a day, y'all. It's not hard. You just have to change the way you're thinking about it and the way that you're going after it. And I can show you how to do it because I just did it. Thank you, guys.